All right, my last set of questions. Gervonta had his epic. I like to say epic. That was a great knockout. The uppercut hurt Frank, and then he put him to bed after. Frank made a lot of money. Got to jump on stage. Early in his boxing career.
Right.
And actually gained a lot of fans.
Yeah.
From that performance, and sure enough, Tank did what Tank was supposed to do. But me personally, as a fight fan, I would love to see Gervonta versus Shakur the most. I know Gervonta is going to be fighting Lomachenko, so I wanted to get your take on the Gervonta Lomachenko.
Okay.
And then I wanted to get your thoughts on, do you rather see Shakur in the mix instead?
Of course. Gervonta and Lomachenko, good fight. I don't think Tank gonna knock him out.
Wow.
And I don't think, and Tank is a very good fighter. People are looking at age. You gotta realize all Loma fights is losses to bigger guys. Guys that's too big for him. He gave them hell.
Well, I mean, minus Salido, right?
Yeah, but that was his first pro fight, and he almost stopped Salido though.
Second pro fight, first championship fight.
Right, and he almost stopped Salido. That goes to show you how a seasoned pro, veteran pro, they got all the tricks, and he almost still stopped him. You know what I'm saying? But comes back and beat Gary Russell with how many fights?
That was the following fight, third fight.
And that ain't no easy fight. Gary Russell is a monster. Gary Russell is a monster. He come back to soundly beat Gary Russell. I don't think, my personal opinion, I think Tank should stay away from Loma right now. I think he should wait a little more. Come and tell you why. Loma output, Tank's not gonna be able to bully him like he did Frank, just walk him down and keep his hands up and think Loma gonna get tired. Loma's too mentally tough for that. And Loma, with the angles he throw a lot of punches, Loma got his heart is gangster. I don't think he'd be worried about Tank's punch, but I think if Tank catch him, I think Loma got the grit to dig down and like look when Jorge Linares dropped him. He moved up 2 weight classes for that, right?
We gonna debate. We gonna debate.
Let's debate. Go ahead.
Jorge Linares landing a punch versus Gervonta Tank Davis landing a clean shot.
Right.
Loma don't go to sleep?
No.
Wow.
I don't think so. Here's my thing. You forgetting, Loma moved up to fight Jorge Linares. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Was it 2 weight classes? You moved 2 weight classes or 1?
No, that was 2.
2 weight classes.
Yeah, that was at 135.
No, he moved up 2 weight classes. You know what I'm saying? So, and Jorge Linares can fight. People act like Jorge Linares can fight. Experience, good punch. Okay, you get dropped in boxing, it happens. But he got up and stopped him. So one thing I know about Loma is that he can handle adversity. He turns up when he gets hurt. You know what I'm saying? So he showed me a lot in that.
But how long ago was this?
Has he been hurt ever since?
Loma?
Yeah.
Like physically hurt?
Down. Has he been down ever since?
He hasn't hit the canvas since. Okay, but you could be hurt and not be on the canvas.
But that's my whole point. You know how much grit you gotta have to do that? To be hurt and not get on the canvas? Listen, him and Devin a lot of people thought he beat Devin. And in my personal opinion, I think Devin is way harder to hit than Tank. So y'all can sleep on Loma if y'all want. Like, look what he just did to. Wait, did Devin stop Gambosis?
No.
Who stopped Gambosis?
Loma stopped Gambosis.
Stopped him. Look how he made him. Loma's very good at making people fight his pace. Like, Tank gonna have to. Not saying Tank can't win because Tank got the tools to beat anybody, but he's gonna have to. The way he fought Frank and the way he fight other guys, he gonna have to do something different. He gonna have to come up out that shell, and he gonna have to put some work. He gonna have to put some hurting on Loma early, and if he stop him, it'll be late. Even though I don't think it'll happen, but if he stop Loma, it'll be late. But he gonna have to put some leather on Loma early, and a lot of it, because Loma gonna be coming, and you gotta realize Tank is physically more Loma size. I think it's a tough fight for Tank. I think Tank should stay away from Loma right now. That's my personal opinion.
Don't you think though? I was told by a very I can't remember. It was a really good interview. It was a good perspective. I'm sorry whoever gave me game on this, but they were like, don't you think Tank's been watching Lomachenko for all these years and seeing all of those stuff and all the little tendencies?
Yeah.
And it might even come and fight.
Okay.
A little bit different.
Okay.
Show Loma a different look.
Yeah, I hear all that.
You know?
But here's my thing. that's how people like don't know shit about boxing. Because you can watch a fighter like you beater beef on TV.
Yo, hold on. I think, not to interrupt, I think it was Calvin Ford that actually told me this. Don't you think Tank's been watching Loma for X amount of years?
Yeah, that's cool. But here's my thing. Anybody who ever boxed before and really been in this game know that, okay, I can watch somebody, but sometimes from watching it and getting in there, it's two different things. Like, you may look at something, a guy, and say, okay, yeah, he gonna be this, he gonna be that. You know how many guys that fought Arthur that told me on TV he looked like he easy to hit, but when I got in there, he was not easy to hit. He's a lot better than what it looked than what you watching. Like, I think that would be a very big mistake to look at his previous fights and be like, because Loma fights, he adapts to his opponent. So to look at the way he fought one guy and think, okay, I'm gonna do this and do that. But when I think Loma just go off with his opponents do, because like the man adapts he adapts like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like look what we did to Gambosis. I mean, and Gambosis was throwing some heat.
But all right, so I'm gonna keep throwing more little.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wouldn't you say that at that point of Gambosis? And you know, I got a lot of love from Gambosis.
Yeah, he was washed up.
Well, I mean, he took 2 Devin fights. Well, he took a tough Tio fight with your boy Tio. Won 2 tough Devin fights. Second one was arguably. I
don't think he really beat Tio, but whatever.
It's fair. It's fair. Arguably, the second fight took some damage from Devin. Okay. Public perception thought he lost after that against Maxie Hughes. Then goes against fights Lomachenko. You think that might have been like a trajectory of just, you know, if public perception didn't think he beat Maxie Hughes, you know.
Who?
Maxie Hughes. That's who Gambosis' quote-unquote tune-up fight was in between.
Oh, and
they thought he lost the fight.
Yeah. So did he get stopped?
He did not get stopped.
Did he get stopped against Devin?
He did not get stopped against Devin.
Did he get stopped against Loma?
He did get stopped by him.
So that shows Loma still got something left in the tank, and he got something special about him that he able to stop him, and nobody else is.
I give you that. I actually, when Loma stopped Gambosis, I was like, all right, you got it. But don't you think at this point the debate was always
he washed up?
Well, no, he's essentially older, right? And I know that Terrence is 36. You know, Arthur's like what, 40?
Yeah,
40, 41.
But okay, I'll give you that case. That case, my point is right, because if you want to go on Gambosis' age, how old is Loma?
But here's the thing: when you look at Terrence, how many wars has he been in?
Yeah.
All right. You know, Floyd, when he was at his older age, how many wars was? So I guess his age is more of a reflection of the years of all his amateur fights.
Yeah.
His trajectory of fast track tough fights, which I give Loma like Hall of Fame credentials.
Right.
But he's like fighting back to back. Salito, Gary Russell, Linares, moving up multiple weight classes, fighting big guys. Devin Haney, which some people call him a weight bully. Teofimo Lopez, later beats Josh Chip, fighting tough fights, which a lot of these fights were 50-50, you know, like they were torn, like did he beat Devin? So don't you think even at that age and all those type of things that the perception of quote old falls into that?
No, because he ain't showing no signs of being old. That's my personal opinion. He ain't showing no signs of being old. What you see from Loma is just him having trouble fighting a bigger opponent, like with bigger guys. Like that don't mean he getting old. It's just that okay. This is the same thing with David. This is a bigger body, so I gotta do something different. I gotta put a little more work out. That's all. And I think he did good in those fights against bigger guys. Fighting Tank, I think Tank is more physically as a fair stylistic matchup. I think his output, not saying Tank can't win, but what I'm saying is I think his output is a lot. Tank don't have a lot of output. He don't. Like, and Loma has a lot of output and can crack and got a good punch. He hit Tank. Tank gonna be feeling it. You know what I'm saying? And can Tank come back from adversity? That's my only question mark.
Wouldn't you say, based on some people, they're gonna say, hey, he came back from Mario Barrios, right? They said that was adversity. You know, so I'm just saying
because he was hurt. Because he was hurt so bad against Mario Barrios. Oh my God, he was just hurt. Came back and knocked Mario Barrios out. Oh my God, stop it! It was only anybody with common sense knew it was only a matter of time. You've seen that. It's only a matter of time before he catch him. That wasn't no effort. I'm talking about hurt.
What about some people felt that the Pitbull fight, based on the injury of the one arm, he had to go through adversity to show that he could box, move.
I'm talking about adversity when you getting hit by somebody who can crack you on the canvas. You got to get up and dig your way out that hole and fight your way out that hole.
And you think Lomachenko is the one that's going to do that?
Yes. I think Loma can be one of the ones to make Tank great. Tank is extremely good, but I think Loma is the guy that makes him great. He knocked Loma out. It's like, yo, yeah, y'all can't say nothing. Nobody can say he knocked Loma out, who's never been knocked out, who made world champions quit, like good world champions back to back to back to back. Tank coming, Loma coming off a knockout win to Gambosis, who nobody stopped, and Tank comes and stretch him. Tank is that guy.
So who do you got if they fought in November?
I don't think Tank should fight him right now.
Well, if you had to, if they're talking about, Bob told me they're talking about making the fight. Tank, after Kambosos got stopped, Tank said, I want Loma. Everything looks Tank Loma. Like everyone, I haven't heard one person that's thrown one negative wrench into this thing at all.
It's a 50-50 fight for me. Because with Tank punch, he can knock out anybody. But with Loma's skill set, his his experience, I think he's seen a million Tanks. I don't think Tank can bring nothing to the table that Loma haven't seen.
All right, my last thing is then, where does Shakur fit in this picture?
Shakur is another killer. You know what I'm saying? Shakur and Tank, good fight. People think like Shakur just outboxed Tank. I don't think so. Tank is a better boxer than what people give him credit for. And it's not like Shakur throws a lot of punches. And it's not like Tank said it right. Like, he don't got no good defense. All he do is step back. And he right. He right. And Tank fights like a seasoned veteran. Like, he fights like a seasoned veteran. And the last guy that Shakur fought, he was a puncher. Don't punch nowhere near as hard as Tank. But you saw how reserved Shakur fought?
But he had an injury.
Every fighter got an injury when they have every fighter have an injury and they have a shitty performance. Cool.
But when I mean injury, it's like one arm.
Then why not fight him again? Floyd did it. When Castillo said his hand was hurt and came back. That's why people forget about that fight. Because Floyd came back and crushed him the second time. Why not fight him again? All other greats did it.
I respect it. I know the fans probably on paper would be like, "Oh, I ain't gonna watch it again," but they'll watch it again if they fought again. So
right. So it's like you know.
But then Tank didn't fight Pitbull again, right?
That's true. I give you that one. Why not fight the guy that people say, "Yo, man, and why not give us a different perspective? Like, yo, his hand really was hurt. He came back and crushed that dude. Why not do that?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Not saying Shakur's not a good fighter. But seeing that, and he was so preserved with a guy like that, and knowing Tank can crack, knowing he can crack, not saying Shakur can't win.
Well,
some fans get mad. Oh, he's talking about. I'm not saying Shakur can't win. I'm just going off the body of work of what I've seen thus far.
So question with you then, as a fighter perspective, right? Have you ever had a fight, and if you didn't, it's fine. Have you ever had a day where you fought an opponent, like you had something wrong, like a personal problem, you had like the worst stomach pains, your arm was hurt, you couldn't actually, like you were literally like probably, I kid you not, maybe 50% of yourself. Have you ever had a fight like that?
Uskatagi. I had a torn labrum.
You had a what?
A torn labrum in my arm.
Really?
Yep. We'll go get the fight. Second round, I was like, oh.
I do remember you kind of like backed off a little and kind of
right.
like,
You know what I'm saying? But you still got to find a way to win.
Did you tell anyone that you?
No, I didn't.
This is your first time saying that you were?
No, first time saying it. Because you want to know why? They're like, baby, he making excuses. That's why I don't even say nothing, because I'm not a chosen one. So if I say anything, you don't crucify me.
But you dominated him in that fight, though. So I guess it just adds more credence to it, right?
It just shows how nice I am.
Okay, I can't stand this guy.
It shows how nice I am. Like I'm just being factual. And I fought a kid named Earl Newman with a fractured rib from sparring with Arthur.
Shit.
And I said, this is it. I'm done with this shit. I'm sick of him. No more.
Okay.
I had a fractured rib and I dominated him too.
Okay. I did ask the question, you did answer, you did deliver, so
thank you,
I'm gonna eat some crow.
Thank you.
But with all being said, if you could rank the lightweights, Tank, Loma, and Shakur, all right? I know you said Tank and Loma's 50-50, but I guess the ideology is that if Tank and Loma happens to win, Shakur ideally would want to face the winner of that, right? Do you see Shakur being that 1 and 2, essentially?
for me, with that, it's like a toying call. It's like,
okay,
it's him this day. Okay, it's him this day. You know what I'm saying? I can't give you like a solid answer because they're all extremely good.
Damn, Loma's nice. If he's like my perspective, I feel like he's past his prime. He's still a coin flip for everybody.
Oh nah, I don't think that.
You don't think he's past his prime?
Nah.
You don't even think like there was a certain point. Now, I'm not saying Loma's not good. Now, I think Loma's a Hall of Famer. What I'm saying is, you don't feel like there's a point. Like for example, when Floyd fought Canelo, I thought Floyd was past his prime. You know what I'm saying? Dominated Canelo, but I thought he was past his prime Floyd. You get what I'm saying? So is Loma past his prime? This is what I'm essentially saying. Like,
I think he's still in it.
Okay.
I think he's still in it.
Okay. Respect.
Could be wrong, but I doubt it.
I mean, that's dangerous because a lot of us think he's not in his prime. So if he's in his prime, then Tank is in a fight. Yep. That's what you said.
I think Tank is in the fight.
All right, fair. Well, look, I won't take too much of your time, Lonnie. I just had to hunt you down. You know what I mean?
Saying? You know I'm working. You know what I'm saying? You got me off. No, I'm just saying.
But where can the fans follow you on social media to get some more Lonnie B?
Lonnie B the Champ on Instagram, Lonnie B168 on Snapchat, and Lionel Lonnie B Thompson on Facebook. I love you guys. Thank you for the guys that love me, and I love the guys that hate me.